shoot, back to the bench. Oh God. All right, that's it. I am officially tired of lugging this motor around and cannot wait for the day when it can move me around via dirt biking. What's up, Buck Doug with D&E in the garage. I promise you this is a wrenching video. This is not a me sitting in the Jeep screaming at you video, but I do need to give you some context. What you're about to watch is me actually putting the motor in the bike and trying to see if I can't click her over a little bit. What happened was I filmed when I was getting the electrical fixed on the bike, and then the next day I filmed what you're about to watch, and I lost both SD cards separately. One was in the Jeep, one was floating around the garage, so I thought this footage was gone and useless. I was never gonna be able to use it. Then I found what you're about to watch, but I didn't have the context for it. So anyway, this is the second half of like part 3, which I recognize is so friggin' confusing. I couldn't be doing a worse job of jamming this together. But if you want to see getting the electrical straightened out, actually finally getting spark on the bike, card up in the corner, link in the description to the first part of this. If you haven't seen any of this series, I highly recommend you go and check out the video when I picked up the bike in a million pieces and when we first started putting stuff together. Anyway, without further ado, I give you getting the carb put together and put on the bike, and the very first time I'm ever going to try to kick the bike over in like 10 years. All right, there you go. Fade in. All right, friends, here's where we're at. I've gotten this thing as clean as I'm going to get it. I can't soak it in carbon choke cleaner because there's like a rubber thing right here, and I don't feel like taking the whole choke arm off. So this is as good as it's going to get. We're just going to throw it back together, put it on the motor, put the engine in the bike, see if we can't cram enough ether in there to get it to at least fire over. That would be amazing. I'm assuming that this carb being the way it is why I never got it started back in the day. So I don't know. I'm on the lookout for a replacement carb. You can get one that looks even worse than this one for like 70 bucks on eBay, which is just super nice. Or I guess I'm just gonna wait until I find something, you know. Not an easy part to find per se. Now I didn't even buy a replacement gasket, even though this one I'm afraid to even show you how brittle it is because it's definitely just gonna break. Alright, so all the way in, and then what do we see? We wrote it right here, right? 1 1/3, so, or 1 3/4. So half, 1, another half, and then 1/4, like that. Shoot. I think that's where it was. I don't remember. I'm almost certain this float pin valve is bad. So to get that out, I'd have to drill this pin out, the whole thing. So we might as well just try with this one, right? There we go. You have a carb again. How'd this go? Right here. Little something. So like that. I don't remember. I know this went here like this. Good gravy. This must have gone like... No, not one like this, because there's the thing. Alright. Oh yeah, man, this is old rubber. There we go. I'm going to pretend like I didn't just have to slam this on the workbench to get it to work. What could go wrong? Dial needle looks fine. This all looks real good. So that's a plus. Sort of like mirror. Like mirror. Just like mirror. And those have to go in there. If anybody has a carb for one of these things, please hit me up. Because even if this does run, there's no way it's going to run well. You know? There's just no way. There it is. We got it. I knew we could do it. There, perfect. Alright, let's pull the wife's car out so we can bring the frame over the rolling chassis and whatever. Oh, buddy, I can't wait. I freaking can't wait. Freaking cruising. Heck yeah. Alright, if memory serves, which it rarely does, these foot pegs have to come out because they are part of the engine mount. I'll do a little bit of this. 14 there. 14 here. Like this for stability. Okay, there we go. Nice and stable. And, oh, you know what? I forgot. We didn't solder those connections yet. I guess we'll do that first. Shoot, back to the bench. Oh God. All right, that's it. I am officially tired of lugging this motor around and cannot wait for the day when it can move me around via dirt biking. All right, we got about half the supplies we need, but we're gonna push ahead anyway. I got heat shrink, but I don't think it's the right size. Whatever. Let's not overthink this. I was gonna rewire, brand new wiring. Screw that. Let's see. Oh, there we go. That went down to this guy. Totally different size, not a problem. Just for show, purely for show. Put some heat shrink over that. Honestly, that's too much heat shrink. Cut it in half. Waste not, right? Spin-a-thing these guys together. We have flux, but it's not the right kind, but we're going to use it anyway. Alright, it helps when doing this to have the worst soldering iron on the planet. That really is going to help you get as frustrated as possible while still ending up with a terrible result. And that's what we've achieved here. So, you know what? Honestly, screw it. We're going to take some silicone grease and we're going to glom it on there. Just like that. Perfect. I mean, it is technically soldered, it's just not very good looking. We're going to take our shrink wrap that may or may not be the proper size. There we go. We're going to get a lighter because I'm honestly not sure where the heat gun is. And we're just gonna friggin' do it, man. Don't overthink this stuff. Yep, pretty obvious now that this shrink wrap is too small. Nope, never mind. There we go, it's pushing the silicone out so you know it's sort of sealed in there. We call that all good enough. This is infuriating. This soldering iron is absolute trash. It was $10 at Wally World. I'm not sure what I expected, but there we go. That's actually a pretty decent soldering job. Finally. Alright. That kind of looks like nothing. Whatever. Since there'd be no way to heat shrink that, we're back to the electrical tape. Pulled off way too much tape, which is exactly enough. That's how much you're going to want to use. What are the odds that we still have spark after all this jimmy-jimming around? Not likely. Alright, let's see. Let's see now. Come on. Oh, I forgot. I can't do this easily anymore because I have the thing on. Alright, we're going to get this in. We're going to assume we still have spark. We're going to get this thing in the framey thing. We're going to do it now. Okay. There we go. Get in your home. Oh, come on. Oh, wow, okay. Cool. I think we might have her. This top bolt goes in. That's a good thing. Where's the hammer? What you're going to want to do is just go ahead and wail on this without any regard for the threads. I think I put it in backwards with screw it at this point. I definitely put it in backwards. Is this also 14? Cool. Would you look at that? This guy does not want to go in yet. There it goes. Get that foot peg in place, because why not? Dang it. It's all about having the right tool for the job. 9 times out of 10, that tool is a hammer. Yeah, hey, when in doubt, just keep hitting it harder. Yeah, there we go. Now, where the heck did this coil go? Oh, the spork plug's right here, so maybe this, oh, you know what? This one up here somewhere. Yep. Yep, like maybe right here. Do those holes line up? Or maybe, I don't know. Somebody Google it. Doesn't really matter where it goes. I'll zip tie the damn thing right here if I feel like it. So there is going to be a carburetor there at some point, potentially. Alright, you want to see if we have sparks still? If we don't, I give up. I'm pushing this thing into the Atlantic. Can't make this up. I don't think it has spark now. Ugh. Jiminy Christmas, you gotta be kidding me. Also, the spring on this thing's broken, so it doesn't come back up, which is a treat. Oh, we got spark. Yeah, we got spark. We got spark, yes we do. We got spark, how about you? Hey, good news, so I found where the coil bolts up. I also realized there are no head bolts in this thing, so glad I didn't try to start it like that. All right, we're slowly dwindling down the random bolts that I have. I guess these go in here. One of them is all galled up. I'm not sure where that came from, but that's not going to be so great going back in. We may only have 3 head bolts. I can't imagine that there's anything wrong with that. It just occurred to me that likely there's leaf blowers in the back of this entire video. So all my neighbors are out blowing the leaves. Not me. Take pride in my lawn? Never. I'm in the garage trying to get a derelict old dirt bike running. Because I'm a 30-year-old man who wants to go on a trail ride. There we go. Spark plug is on. Right? Coil is on. I'm starting to question if I didn't put something on wrong, but it's too late for that now. That'll be a problem for another day. I guess. This guy snuck up in here and turned the right way. Alright, I changed my mind. We're putting the tank on it, and if it all works out well, we'll take it off again and paint it or something. Got the petcock over here somewhere. Where'd I put that? I just had it. There it is. Thread this guy in. Oh boy. Find something to tighten that down with in a minute. Put this guy on like so. Grab this horribly dusty, rusty thing for the banjo. Now how did it really make a loop like that? That seems like an intense angle. Did it all go up? Oh, you know what else we need? I believe this is the bolt for back here, right? Yep, that's good. Is that 14? Yep. So. That sounded awful. It's likely not actually the bolt that goes there, but now it does. Yep, just drill it down. Oh, you know why? Because it goes to the other side. What an idiot. Oh boy, amateur hour, I tell ya. Yep, it goes over here. Just like that. You get a washer on each side. All right. See, now we established no oil, right? I mean some oil. Let's put a little more. Do I have any oil? There we go. It's got some oil, and then we'll top it off with some Lucas, because everything in there is going to be pretty rusty, crusty, and dry. Now here's what I'm thinking. First, before we even put fuel to it, let's spray it with some starting fluid and see if it wants to kick over. What do you say? We are running dangerously low on our liquid dreams in a can here. Oh no. No liquid dreams in a can. Doesn't want to come out at all. Shoot. We have another one of these? Alrighty. Another can that's dangerously low, but at least it's got chooch. Let's just see what happens. Maybe nothing, maybe something. I gotta fix this spring. Alright friends, I am back. Oh my goodness, more context, more narration. So here's what happened. I got down on the bike and I'm kicking it over, and I realized the broken Kickstarter that I didn't think was going to be a problem, absolutely a problem. I can't keep picking it up every time, and I was so discouraged because I really thought I was going to get to hear it at least click over a few times with some ether, that I just sort of walked away from it, and I think that's how I lost the footage, because I was discouraged, so I wasn't paying good attention to it. So this is where we're going to end this one. I have not touched the bike since this filming because a million other things came up. You guys have seen the avalanche has been stealing my time, the transfer case rebuild, and then of course the holidays. So I have a Kickstart spring on order. We're gonna get back to this, stay tuned. This is going to be an ongoing project. My goal is to be riding this bike in the spring. Carburetor still eludes me. If anybody has a good lead on a good, decent, reasonably priced carburetor for a 1978 Honda XL 175, let me know. I can get a brand new one for $280 off Bike Bandit. That's obviously not happening. Or I can spend like 80 bucks on one that looks worse than the one I have right now. And I'm almost 100. Here's the thing, I can't get that float valve out. I'm almost certain that's the problem. Back in the day, if I recall, I'm almost certain that's the problem. So I just need a new carb. I can't remove the float because the float pin is all screwed up, and that valve, I think this carb is totally cash. So if anybody has a lead on that, let a brother know. All right, because I really want to hear this thing run. My worst case scenario, I haven't decided. Does worst case is worst case? I'm driving to go food shopping. That's why we're in a Weiss parking lot, by the way. Worst case is one of two things. Worst case is I send it out to somebody. We have a few reputable bike shops in the area that for a few $100 I'm sure they can get it running. Or for the same few $100, I just spend it on that new Bike Bandit carb. But it's like there's nothing wrong with the bike, you know. I don't know, man. Let me know what you guys think down there in the squawk boxes. I know this has been an excruciatingly slow process of getting this thing back together, but there aren't a ton of videos on it. I tried looking about good build videos, so if somebody really just wants to watch somebody turn every bolt and every screw, I wanted to give you guys that option. So hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel. Maybe consider checking us out on Patreon, Etsy, and Teespring. We got good stuff going on over there. I look forward to hearing from you guys down in the squawk boxes about the build. I'm hoping we can attract some more bike people to the channel, because that's where my love of vehicles started. Started with bikes, then went to Jeeps, and it's slowly spreading out through all automotive corners. But bikes, that's what starts it all. That's one of the reasons I want to get this bike running, so that I have something laying around the house, so that as soon as my daughter's old enough to understand, pull this in and click that up, we'll get her going, get her shifting, and get things moving. All right, I'm going to go do food shopping for the missus. I'll talk to you all later. Thanks for watching. See you next time.